In genetics, organisms evolve and change over time. After many changes, they branch out and become new species. One way to show these changes is through phylogenetic trees. These are images that organize different species based on their common ancestor. The units that we use to describe these organisms are called operational taxonomic units, or OTUs. OTUs can be many things like different alleles, or phenotypes, or species. The species will be separated based on differences in DNA within a branch and different common ancestors between branches. Our example here is a rooted tree where we know the distance between species, telling us how similar these OTUs are to each other. We can also guess the order in which the common ancestors and OTUs sprang up. We know this because of the outgroup, an OTU that has split from an ancestor much earlier compared to the rest of the OTUs. We use the outgroup as a baseline that marks the relative beginning of our timeline. How do you tell where a common ancestor is located? You look for internal nodes, which are parts of the tree where one path splits into multiple paths. When a split takes place, the point where the paths were connected reveals a common ancestor. We have internal nodes here, 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 just for example. The most recent common ancestor is where the branched OTUs share an ancestor. For this entire tree, it's at this point. For these two consoles right here, it's at this point. Now that we've covered the basics, let's dissect this example. We have the jump rope, the GameCube, the Game Boy SP, the SNES, the Xbox 360, the Sega Game Gear, the PSP, the Power Glove, and the Virtual Boy. The jump rope serves as the outgroup, as it's separated from a common ancestor much earlier compared to our other OTUs. This split shows a common ancestor for all the cuboid-shaped consoles. The GameCube and Game Boy SP share a square shape, which means that they have a common ancestor right here. These four consoles, the SNES, the Xbox 360, the Game Gear, and the PSP, are rectangular shaped, so they have a common ancestor here. The SNES and the Xbox 360 are stationary consoles, so they share an ancestor here. The PSP and the Game Gear are handheld rectangular consoles, so they share an ancestor here. Finally, the Power Glove and the Virtual Boy are equipable consoles, so they have an ancestor here. And these are my references. Thanks for watching.